What's the difference between classroom math and SAT math? Well, typically classroom math, let's say you're learning proportions, and you do proportions, a whole worksheet of them, and then at the end you might have one word problem where you have to diagnose that you have to indeed do a proportion, and then you do it. And typically that's a extra credit question, or it's a question that separates a 95 from 100. On SAT, you have to diagnose that this is the approach I have to take, and then you've got to execute. You got to do it right. My name is Paul Pasulka, Ivy Masters Learning Center and ivymasters.com. And today we're going to look at Test 5, Section 4, Number 3, which reads, to make a bakery's signature chocolate muffins, a baker needs 2.5 ounces of chocolate for each muffin. How many pounds of chocolate are needed to make 48 signature chocolate muffins? And you see your conversion, 1 pound and 16 ounces. So here, I gave you a little hint, we do need to do a proportion. But how would you know you need to do a proportion? Well, whenever you're given 3 units, here we've got 2.5 ounces, we've got 1 pound, we've got 16 ounces. So we have the values for those 3 units. And 2 of the units, you know the information for. We know 2.5 ounces, and we know part of the conversion, 16 ounces. And the other, you only need one, you only have one piece of it, because the question is how many pounds, and we have the conversion for 1 pound. So that's how we know we could set up a proportion. And how would that proportion look? Well, if 1 pound equals 16 ounces, there's actually 4 correct ways. So LB is for pounds, and I'm going to put an OZ for ounces. Now there's actually 4 correct ways to set up a proportion, but I'm going to stick to the way that you're likely to set it up. 2.5, and these are not variables, these are just labels, so you know what stuff, how stuff should line up. The important thing in setting up a proportion is that they have a relationship. So 1 pound and 16 ounces have a relationship because they're equal. How many pounds, and we've got 2.5 ounces, we're just going to see that as a conversion, and remember, we still need to get 48 muffins. So 2.5 ounces in 1 muffin, how many pounds would that be? So we're going to get that conversion, and then we're going to have to multiply by 48. But these have a relationship because it's how many pounds in 2.5 ounces. These have a relationship because they're both pounds. These have a relationship because they're both ounces. And I'm not going to get into the 3 other setups. Basically, you could flip these, or you could put 1 pound over X pounds equals 16 ounces over 2.5 ounces, or flip those. So regardless, when you cross multiply and set equal here, what we get is 2.5 ounces equals 16x. Well, I'm going to get rid of the units because really it's ounces times pounds. So 2.5 equals 16x, and if we divide both sides by 16, what we get is that x equals, and I'm going to use my high-tech calculator over here, 2.5 divided by 16, and you wind up with 0.15625, 0.15625. And you've got to establish, hey, what do I know here now? So it's 2.5 ounces of chocolate for each muffin. That's 0.15625 pounds of chocolate per muffin. Now, if you've got pounds of chocolate per muffin and we've got 48 muffins, then we've got to multiply that by 48 and see our and, then we're going to have our answer. So if we just hit times 48, we get 7.5. Answer choice A is your correct answer. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has trouble setting up proportions or diagnosing that you need to set up proportions. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. And click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Have a great day.